Good morning, everybody. It's a little dark in here. A little bit dark in here. I might open up those blinds here in a minute. Or it could just be my eyes still half sleepy. Good morning, world. How's everybody doing in the world today? Boy, I tell you what. I guess it's just a new thing now for me to be just completely entrenched in funky dream world every night. It's just a new thing for me now. I guess I'm just gonna get adjusted to it. I was thinking, man, maybe I'm just going through this little phase where there's some weird energies in the sky or something like that. But for the past month, maybe every night, almost every night. This didn't used to happen to me, but almost every night, I go to a weird, funky dream world, man. Ugh, so weird. So weird. And I think it's probably not too terribly uncommon, but it just irritates me how I remember it. I remember the weird, funky dream world when I wake up, you know? And the weirdest thing, here's the weirdest thing about weird, funky dream world. Let me just go, let me tell you what's so strange about it. The strangest thing about it, I think, is that there's a lot of telepathic communication that happens there, where there's things that you understand and things that you know that aren't spoken with words, you know? And they're really weird, strange things that you know what I mean? I don't know. It's not that that's like in my dreams, everybody communicates telepathically, but it's like there's a lot of things that you do communicate telepathically, like whatever's going on. You know, there's a telepathic understanding of something very deep that's... See what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to start getting into it and kind of explaining it, and it's already sounding weird and nuts, you know? And that's just nothing compared to how weird the actual dream world is that I visit, man. So, I'm not still half there. I am coming up out of it. I'm not feeling too bad, but it's just irritating. I like being able to just go to sleep, wake up, and then poof, be totally done with that little dimension I was in, and now be focusing on this one. Doesn't really happen. Doesn't really happen anymore. It hasn't happened consistently for a couple weeks now. I might have one or two good days out of the week, but for the most part. Anywho, though, let's get some incense going. How y'all doing, by the way? Got a couple of you tuned in. Doing good, doing good. Hold up. Gotta get some good vibes and good smells going. Here we go. So anyway, how's everybody doing today? Wherever you are in the world. Oh, there come the comments. Hang on. Let me try to get this damn incense in here. There we go. Hello, people. How you doing? Hello. We got a few of you in here. We got a Claudia, Erica, Mary, Dawn, Beautiful Fire, Stephanie. What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? This is the weekend routine. This is the weekend routine. I like to make sure I'm a little bit more awake. So I sat here and drank me about half my cup of coffee before coming on here. Played with my phone a little bit. Not 100% awake yet, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. What y'all up to? We got people from all over the world, don't we? Germany. Beautiful island of, how do you say it? Sirocco? Wow, that's neat. Well, here I am in Las Vegas. It's a hot, dry patch of dirt. It's cool though, man. Got another Germany. That's cool. Well, maybe I shouldn't hammer so hard on it being first thing in the morning here. We got everybody watching in Germany and England and whatnot. You know? I'm always like really harping on, oh, it's early. Good morning, everybody. You know, and shit, what is it, nighttime over there for y'all? Got Illinois. Got a Vegas local in the house. At least we got one Vegas local who's mourning for somebody here watching. I'm an early bird, man. I always have been. Well, in my adult life, I have been. When I was a kid, I wasn't. Like, I would wake up sometimes at like 10 a.m. And my grandfather, who I was raised with, would say, oh, half the day is gone. Now the day's almost gone. And I'm like, what? It's 10 a.m. You know what I mean? Now I understand what he means by that. I get what he means by that. The first few hours of my day is where I typically try to get the most important stuff out of the way, you know? Go to the gym, get my workout in. Making good progress with that too. I had a little check-in yesterday. I'm at the lowest body fat percentage that I've been on this entire journey. Down into the 2 teens. I started off about 260. Started off about 260. Yep, now I'm down to 217. Yep. It's slow. It's a slow journey, but man, it's fun. It's fun. He sent me a text again yesterday saying, I'm proud of you, you know, doing real good. And I responded saying something to the effect of, it feels like the one thing that I have left to become successful at, you know? I feel like I've accomplished every other goal I've ever set out to accomplish, you know? Becoming healthy and fit is the one thing that I have left to accomplish, you know? And you all know, we talked about this last chat or the one before that. Once you accomplish a goal, you're like, well, fuck, now what? And I'm already anticipating that. Just knowing how this process goes. You know, when you get to the top of one mountain, you're like, well, fuck, now what? And I kind of think I already know what I'm gonna do. Don't quote me on this. I can't foresee. It could always end up being something different, but I went ahead and decided to take the route of shredding off all the body fat. Okay? Cardio and athleticism, you know, just shred the fat off. And then when I do that, then I might work on actual bodybuilding. That's not really a goal of mine, but I'm thinking, well, I mean, it's something that I've never experienced before, you know. I've fluctuated up and down and back and forth and in and out of being skinny and fat, but I've never done it in a healthy way. You know, I've never done it in a healthy way. For those of you who have seen like old pictures of me where I'm real skinny, I'm not healthy skinny. I'm like malnourished skinny in those pictures, you know what I mean? Like there was that one time I got down to like 175. And for me, with my big old ass bone structure, there was nothing left of me. For me to be 170, 175, nothing left of me. And it wasn't in a healthy way. I had no muscle, I had no nothing, you know? I was eating like maybe 3 meals a week. It was bad. It was bad. That was one of the closest times that I've ever had on my journey where I probably could have died, you know what I mean? I was severely malnourished. It was because I was broke, man. I couldn't afford food. So anyway, though, this is the first time I'm getting in some kind of shape and I'm doing it the right way. So I like that. And I'm used to being sore all the time. I'm used to it. That's just me now. I'm just sore all the time, you know? I'm just sore all the time now. I carried my weight, what? Yeah, I know. That's the annoying thing about this. That's the irritating part about this. Do you know how many people, and even looking back throughout my life, it's still the same thing. How many people like actually say that they prefer me fat? Like everybody always says I look better when I'm fat. I'm like, you're out of your fucking mind, dude. Well, I guess Everybody else is just going to have to suffer and think I look worse than them because I don't think I look good fat. I don't think I look good like a big fucking fat fuck. And I could understand like if I was in some kind of shape, but I was so horribly out of shape. I couldn't even run a quarter mile. You know what I mean? I couldn't do nothing. Couldn't run up and down the steps. I was just so out of shape. But you know what? Here's the thing too. I think a lot of that has to do with social conditioning. I think a lot of that has to do with conditioning and programming too. Because if you pay close attention over the past 10 years or so, there's been a push to normalize being fat, to normalize it, you know, and guilt trip you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's been a push to normalize fatness. There has been. Look, pay attention. Look back, you know, normalize being fat and yeah, big push. Dad bod. You know, it started off with the women. And they slowly snuck the men in there too, you know. And they condition it. They program you with this shit, you know. I'll get you a dude with a dad bod, a beer belly, and tattoos. You know what I mean? You see little shit like that scrolling through social media over the past decade or so. I really think a lot of that's been pushed onto us due to programming, because that's how easy it is to program people, and it is. You know what I mean? Because before they started doing that, nobody thought that way. You know what I mean? Before they started doing that, before they started normalizing being fat and oh, it's okay to be fat, you can't help it, you know what I mean? I think it's all due to programming. I normally don't touch these types of topics and paths on these chats here, but I'm gonna go there because I'm not. I don't care what you tell me, how sexy you think I look. I don't give a fuck. No, I'm not gonna let myself get all fat and nasty. I'm not. It's not happening. Ain't happening. Ain't happening. I like being in shape. Plus, I don't like the way it looks either. I don't like the way it looks. I think it's incredibly unattractive. And if I'm the only person on this planet that thinks that, oh well. But it feels real good now too. It feels real good to be able to get on the treadmill and run. And man, I done knocked a mile out and I'm still going. I'm like, bro, I've never been able to do this in my life, you know? I was really athletic as a kid. I don't know how many of y'all know this about me, but most of my childhood, I was in martial arts. I got my black belt by the time I was 14. I was incredibly athletic, insanely athletic when I was a kid. And then as I became a teenager, I kind of lost interest in those things and started, you know, I threw all that stuff away and started going and doing all the bad stuff, you know. When I turned a teenager, I started going and doing all the bad stuff, you know, chasing girls and drugs and alcohol and shit like that. And now here I am in my 30s. I'm like, well, shit. I done wasted away a lot of my opportunities, abilities, and talents. And here I am in my 30s getting back on track and getting everything straight in my life again. And boy, I'm going to tell you what. My athleticism was in just as bad a shape as my love life and my money and everything else that hadn't gone down the drain. So, yeah. Yeah. I'm healthy and happy. Yeah, I think I'm pretty healthy for the most part. I got a couple little habits that probably aren't that great for you. I know I vape. You know, I do drink coffee, and I will have the occasional energy drink from time to time. And those aren't particularly good things for you, but y'all don't know how bad I used to poison myself. Y'all don't know how bad I used to. Just to give you an idea, when I was homeless, when I lived under a bridge, a gallon of vodka a day, every day, a whole gallon to myself. Not a half gallon, 2 half gallons to myself every day. That's just to give you an idea of how bad I used to poison myself. It was bad, dude. It was bad. I know sometimes when you tell the stories a lot of times, especially when you have somebody that's like a success story that goes from rags to riches, you know, there's a lot of people out there, and then when you hear their story, it sounds cool, man, you know, it sounds awesome. Being in it, it wasn't cool. Well, nothing awesome about it. And to me, it may sound cool when I tell the story, but when I live it in my head, I'm very thankful for my story, but I wouldn't go back and relive it. Let's put it that way. I wouldn't go back and relive it. No, I would not. There you go. Mary, in your 50s. There you go. It's never too late. Never, ever, ever, never. Oh, okay, you got a tank top. That's badass. Cool. Appreciate you. I see people. It doesn't tell me who orders it, but I do see when the orders come through. If I remember to go look. Like I told y'all, I don't make no money off that merchandise. I don't make shit. I probably made maybe $2 or $3 off that. That's it. I get to adjust the price. I can adjust the price and make as much or as little profit as I want. And I take the price down as low as it'll let me, before it turns red. It goes into the red and says, no, you can't take it this low. So I don't have that shit up there to make money. I have it up there for y'all, pretty much. So that's one of the ways that I give back, and I don't make nothing off of it. But anyway, yeah, it's never too late. Never ever too late to take it. The only thing is, though, the only thing is this. And this has a lot to do with, psychologically speaking, it becomes more difficult after 35. After age 35, it becomes much more difficult because whatever neural networks or whatever about your brain that have to do with your subconscious mind are done being developed. They're rock solid. They're set in stone by the time you're 35. So that whenever it becomes changing anything, that's what we're really changing is the subconscious mind. That's what we're really changing. And it's the last brick gets laid on your subconscious mind when you're 35. So it takes more work. It takes more work. That's the only thing that's different. That's the only thing that's different, Like I said, at the end of the day, and one of the things that I've been noticing too is it seems like now compared to maybe 5 years ago, I'm very, very, very in touch with my subconscious. Very in touch with it. It's not really all that subconscious anymore. I've dug a lot of it up. A lot of it. I'm sure there are some things that are still very subconscious that I'm unaware of, but for the very most part, me now compared to me 5 years ago when I just identified as my subconscious mind. It was like a fish in water. I didn't know what my subconscious was doing, Now it's when you get to work on yourself like that, especially like I tell y'all, the most powerful thing I think, and me and Leah do this all the time, and whenever something happens, I don't care what it is. I don't give a damn what happens. We stop and we say, how did we manifest that? When something bad happens or some problem or some issue, that's the first thing we always say is, how did I manifest that? That would just thinking that way, getting yourself in the habit of thinking, how did I manifest that? The only way you can answer that question is to dig up your own subconscious mind and start getting really brutally honest with yourself about yourself. That's part of the work that none of us want to do. That's the part that's not fun. Actually, very little of it is fun. The fun part comes once you figure it out. Oh, okay, I see how I'm manifesting that. Oh, okay. And then you work to start changing it, and then you start seeing the results of the changes you've just made. That's the rewarding part. That's the rewarding part. Yeah, you will kind of you'll be real sensitive. You'll be real sensitive to foods and stuff like that aren't good for you. You'll be sensitive to it. And it's kind of a bummer. It's kind of a bummer because every once in a blue moon, and it's not very often at all, I want to enjoy me some naughty ass food. You know what I mean? When I say naughty ass food, I'm talking like, man, let's slide through Burger King or something like that. Very fucking rarely. I can't do it. I can't do it, man. It hurts my stomach, man. It feels like I got punched in the stomach. Bam, like a gut punch, It's like, dude, I can't even enjoy this shit anymore, Not at all. Not at all. The naughtiest food that I'll have, though, I loves my pizza. You wanna know what my weakness is? I will give you my weakness. Pizza. Pizza is my weakness. I don't know what it is. When I lived with Tina, she told me that that was my comfort food because when I was a little kid, when I would get sick with the flu and I have to stay home from school, I don't know how this started or why this started, but my grandma would order me Papa John's pizza, and that was the only thing I could eat and keep down without throwing up. I don't remember how we figured that out or why that happened or what, but the only thing that I could eat and keep down without throwing up was Papa John's pizza. I don't know why. I don't know why. So that kind of became, I guess, from childhood. Or maybe it subconsciously reminds me of a time where I felt real safe and protected or something like that when I was a kid. So that, I guess that's like one of my comfort foods, maybe. I don't know, but boy, I loves my pizza. I'm a pizza connoisseur, and that's a bummer because I mean, it's not like unhealthy. Depending on the ingredients, it's not like the worst food for you, but it's incredibly fucking carby. Incredibly fucking carby. And I don't like the little thin crust pizzas. It's like a pizza on a cracker. I like the big, soft, fluffy, fucking soft, doughy, chewy pizzas. Yeah, man. Yeah, the big old soft, chewy ones, you know what I mean? Oh, I'm making my belly growl just thinking about it right now. What fried foods make your stomach hurt? I know, me too, man. Me too. Me too. Trying hard to put weight on. Yeah, no. That's how Andrew is, Coach Drew. That's how he is. And I kind of got to thinking about it. See, because we always wish that we were on the other side of the fence, And of course, me, like I said, I'm the type of person that I can put weight on really quick and really easy. Fat. I can put fat on, It's really easy. All I got to do is neglect my physical fitness and eat bad for a week or two, and I go downhill so fast, dude. It's insane. And I remember when I very first started working with Coach Drew, he was that type. He's like, man, I try so fucking hard. I will eat 6,000 calories a day and step on the scale and lose weight. And I got to thinking too, because at first I'm thinking, man, I wish I had your problem. But now I'm kind of thinking, no, I'm kind of glad that I have it my way, because I do think that it is easier for those of us trying to lose fat than it is to put it on, because all we're really dealing with here is our habits. Those of us who put fat on and are trying to take fat off, like me, all we're really dealing with is our habits. That's what we're dealing with. Habits are very changeable, So, like, if you're trying to put weight on, you're dealing with yourself on a cellular level. You're dealing with something that's it's the infrastructure of your body, which can be changed. Okay? I still kind of feel like we're a little bit behind and we're not ready for that yet as humans. Not quite. We're getting there. In the next decade, we'll be able to change that with our own thoughts. But for now, if those of us who are trying to take fat off, what we're dealing with is our habits. Our habits, And I know there's always somebody out there that wants to make an excuse, And that's fine. I would buy the excuse if I could witness you working out and eating healthy, Let me see, what are your routines? What are your habits and your routines, Oh, it runs in my family. I have a thyroid problem, this and that. It's genetic and this and that. No, it's not genetic. It's you eat like shit. That's what it is, man. If you eat like shit, you're not active. And I know, dude, I would have loved to been able to find an excuse like that. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it was my habits and my routines, Because you have to fucking suffer. Boy, it hurts. Woo, man, this fitness journey is the hardest thing I've ever made myself do. It sucks. I mean, every day I go to the gym, I get pushed and pushed and pushed to where, like, it would scare me. Like, there at first, I would tell Coach Drew, I'd be like, man, it just, like, this fight or flight response kicks in my body. Like, I think I'm about to die. Like, I seriously feel like I'm hurting myself so bad it's about to kill me. He's like, yeah, that's normal. You got to get that to shut up because you're not going to die. It took a while. He would push me to my absolute breaking point, my limit. And He wouldn't push me past my limit. He would take me to my limit and keep me there for a whole hour. Body on fire. I mean, excruciating pain. And again, I was like, well, you know what? There's people out there that love this. You know, there's people out there that actually love this. They're addicted to this. It took me forever to find that. Oh man, I remember 3-4 months into it, I was like, man, I still don't understand how anybody loves that excruciating pain. It does not feel good. But you know what? I'm gonna keep doing it until it does. I'm gonna keep doing it until it does. And then it is getting to the point now. Let's see, it's been a couple of weeks ago was my 1 year on my fitness journey. About a month ago is when I kind of started realizing, man, it's weird. It feels like this inner itch. You know, it feels like this inner itch. I can't get on a treadmill and not run. You know, I feel itchy. I feel like I got to go do something. My muscles crave this. And I'm like, ooh, it's happening. Ooh, it's happening. I knew it was going to start kicking in. Everything in my body, the way my body functions now and operates is totally different. Now I'm itching to do something. You know, it's cool. It's really cool. Transforming yourself is fun, man. It's fun. I think it's cool. I think it's cool. I just get my thrills from saying, how much can I change me? How different can I make me? You know, 1 year from now, how fucking different am I gonna be? I'm gonna be somebody that I can't even fathom right now. 1 year from today, just by repeating the same thing. You know, changing, breaking one habit, forming a new habit. It's fun. You just get used to living outside of your comfort zone. You know. And the funny thing is, I can remember, like back when I was in my 20s, and I would work like really, really physically demanding jobs. I always looked at it as a negative thing. I would put in really, really heavy work, but I would always look at it as a negative thing. Like, oh, I'm hurting myself. I shouldn't be doing this to myself. I'm doing something bad to myself. Now looking back, I'm thinking, why was I so fucking stupid? Why did my dumb ass think I was hurting myself? You know? Ow, I'm hurting myself. Ow, I'm doing something bad to myself. Why was I so goddamn stupid? Where did I get that idea? Where did I come up with the idea that I was hurting myself with physical labor, you know? So stupid. I could have been in such better shape if I would have just reversed that one little perspective of mine. Back in my 20s, I could have been in such better shape throughout my life, you know? This is the way it's supposed to feel. This is a good thing, you know? I don't know. It's cool, dude. It's cool. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. Cotton candy grapes. Yes, we got those, man. Oh my God. We got those at Trader Joe's. And we went back last time to try to find them. And I think it's just a seasonal thing that they bring around from time to time. Holy shit. I was so blown away. I was like, cotton candy? What do you mean? What do you mean, cotton candy? What the fuck? I was like confused. I was like, what do you mean cotton candy grapes? I'll be goddamn. They taste like little fucking pieces of candy. Little pieces of cotton candy, the grapes do. I was like, whoa, I could sit and eat a whole fucking... That's one of my favorite fruit snacks is grapes. Man, you give me a whole fucking pound of grapes and I'll sit there and... It is weird, but dude, they're good, man. They're good as hell. Holy shit, they're like addictive, man. And I got them at Trader Joe's. That's the weird thing about it. I was like, is this healthy? There's no way this is good for you. Shit isn't good for you that tastes that good. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know. Usually when something tastes that fucking good, it's toxic. You know what I mean? All seedless. Yeah, it ain't right. It's weird. It's weird, man. I was like, dude. And then check this out. They also had sweet jelly flavored. And I was like, ooh, jelly flavored. You know, and it just tastes like regular grapes. And I was like, oh, joke's on me, right? It just tastes like regular grapes. You know, they didn't have a flavor to them. But yeah, we got them cotton candy ones. That's the only place we shop for groceries now is Trader Joe's. It's Trader Joe's. That's the only place we shop. So we do that once a week. We learned real quick, you don't want to shop in abundance there. You don't want to do that because all organic stuff will go bad. The organic shit will go bad real quick. You know, so we buy just enough to last us for the week. Just enough to last us for the week. Because you don't want, you know, like whenever we would go to like Smith's or Bond's and buy regular stuff from a regular grocery store, we'd go spend $500, you know, but we got like a month's worth of food that sitting there for weeks at a time and not expire and not organic shit. No preservatives. Yeah, right. We learned that quick. Learned that quick, man. You know, get a loaf of bread. I just bought this damn thing a week and a half ago, you know, covered in mold. Covered in mold, you know. The whole, it's not just a little mold spot. The whole loaf of bread is ravaged in mold. It's like, holy shit. So, yeah, we started that a month ago, 2 months ago. That's like the only place that we shop at now. That's the only place we shop at. It's Trader Joe's. I think this time though, we're gonna go, I love Sprouts. Sprouts is awesome. I love that place. Just the vibe in there. I don't know what it is. I remember the last time we shopped there. I think I want to shop there next or Whole Foods Market, one of the two. But I remember I was having just a real bad day. I don't remember what was going on. Probably nothing. I don't even know. I was just not in a good mood this day, you know? You know, one of those days where you're just one of those days where your vibe is fucked and you're just pissed and everything pisses you off. I was having one of those days, you know, it was a bad day. We walked into that Sprouts and it was just like the clouds parted. Ooh, la la la, light shining down. I don't even know what it was. And we walked in there and I'm like, whoa, I like this place. I love this place. And it just completely changed my whole mood. It was weird. It was weird. Boom, 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 boom. So anyway, anywho, yes, health and fitness is the pretty much all my life is about now. You know, it's pretty much all my life is about now. You know, 'cause I feel like, I mean, I don't want to try to increase my income because if I try to increase my income, it's not going to happen. You know, so I'm letting my income increase itself. I'm just letting that happen all by itself. I don't even pay attention to that. I don't think about that. I don't even count how much money I've made most of the time. Most of the time, I don't even know how much I've made for the year until like it's the end of the year. Then we go back and look, you know? I don't even know. I don't even care. I don't give a shit, man. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care if I make I don't care. It doesn't matter. As long as my family's straight and safe and all taken care of and have no worries, nothing to worry about, you know? That's all I care about at the end of the day, you know? Because most people are looking for a specific dollar amount. They have a dollar amount in their head and they're thinking, if I make this much, then all my problems will go away. And I used to think that way. I was telling y'all this the other day. I used to think, man, if I could just make $100,000 a year. You know, to me at the time, when I first started off on my manifestation journey, I looked at $100,000 a year as like, whoa, you make a lot of money. You know what I mean? Now, if that's all I made, I wouldn't be able to pay my bills. Wouldn't even be able to pay my bills, man. My bills alone cost about $100,000 a year. A little more than that, actually. About $120,000 a year. My bills do. Just my bills, you know. So I learned real quick, that that's not the right mentality. It's not the right mentality. There is no dollar amount that's going to create the feeling that we're looking for. We have to go ahead and start living in it. We have to go ahead and start living in that feeling of, I'm not worried about money. I don't stress about money. I don't stress about my bills. I don't stress about whether or not I can put gas in the tank. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Money isn't important. You know what I mean? That make sense? Mm-hmm. Yep, we got to find the frequency. We have to find the frequency. And then we attract what aligns with that frequency, you know? And my frequency is I don't worry, nor do I think about money at all. That's it. That's my frequency. I'm not worried about money. I'm not thinking about it. I'm not stressing about it. I'm not worried about it. Now, yes, I have invested in some rather unconventional assets, you know, that when the time comes, it'll be about $1 million, about $1 million. But when the time comes, you know, that will, everybody, not just me, everybody will be living in so much abundance that $1 million you could wipe your ass with. You know what I mean? But it's just a cushion, putting away a cushion, you know. I don't even think about it. That's the frequency. There's no dollar amount. If I could say, man, if I could just make $1 million or 2 million or 5 million, then by the time I get to that million or 2 million or whatever it is, I'll be like, damn, this isn't enough. You know, that's what creates greed. That's what creates greed whenever we set that dollar amount. Because then when you get that dollar amount, it ain't shit. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's not what you thought it would be, you know? It's never what you thought it would be. It's crazy. It's weird. It's weird. No, I don't touch crypto. I don't mess with that shit. No. No. Don't mess with that shit. But anyway, the point I was making was now the biggest thing on the biggest journey of mine is my health and fitness. That's all I really think about. That's all I really stress about and worry about. I don't really stress about it, but it is still like on my top list of priorities. You know what I mean? I feel very, very similar. It's the closest thing to still having that. You know, when you work just like a regular 9-to-5 day job and you get up in the morning because you have to. You know, I feel that same way about my fitness and my health. I wake up. I don't have to. That's totally up to me. I pay $800 a month. I pay $800 a month to get up every morning and go put myself in the fire. You know what I mean? I pay for that. But I still feel very, very, very much like I did when I worked a minimum wage job and made not much more than that. You know what I mean? Made like back when I was living in Maine, right before my YouTube channel popped off, I was making $1,200 a month is what I was making. That's what I made, $1,200 a month. And I'd get up in the morning because I fucking had to. If I don't get up in the morning, I'm not gonna be able to make any money. Well, now I have the same mentality, but I pay to do it, and I do it because I have to. I can't let myself down like this. You know what I mean? That's a standard I've set for myself. And that's totally weird, totally outside of my normal character. I don't know. I know somebody out there needed to hear that. It'll inspire somebody. Even if it just inspires one person. And that's all I'm really here to do, is really inspire and help people. We're transitioning. It's not a fun transition, but it's a transition nonetheless. No, I don't read myself. No, absolutely not. I do not. I can't. That's the only reason I ever picked tarot cards up, though, was to read for myself. But no, I don't. I don't read for myself, and I don't get readings either. That's the funny thing. I don't. The few readings I've had in my life. Let's see. I've had 1, 2, and 3. I've had 3 readings. That's all I've ever had. There's 3 readings in my life. And they all came and chased me down. They came and chased me down. I didn't go out looking for them. They came and chased me down. You know? So I don't do that because I like to create my own reality. I kind of feel like that's the reason why if you come to me for a reading, those of you who have, most of you, 95% of you who have come to me for a reading, I will tell you, I will give you some tools to use, you know? I will put in the reading, I will seed in there some energy tools that if you choose to use them, you can take more control of your own frequency and your own timelines and change your own timelines. Most of it. Sometimes people come to me for a reading and that won't even fit in there and I'll just answer the question straight out. But I like to create and manifest my own reality. And I feel like if I go to somebody for a reading, I feel like I'm giving all of my power to them, you know? And they're just telling me this future that's gonna happen to me, you know? That's the way it makes me feel. And most readers will tell you, yeah, you have free will. You can change this outcome. You can change timelines. You can change this entire reading if you want. But I've never met a reader that can tell you how to do that. I've never met a reader that can tell you how to do that. That's what I dedicated my life to learning how to do. And then I learned the tarot. You see what I'm saying? See how I was kind of put in this weird position being a tarot card reader, you know? It's a very strange, interesting way the universe had me. I look back on it and I still, like I said, I did spend a year and a half manifesting self-employment. Yes, I did. Oh, yes, I did. I had no idea how the fuck it was going to happen. And whenever it turned out to be this, I was like, huh? Man, no, I don't want to do it like this. No, not like this. This is silly, you know? I ran with it anyway. But looking back, it's just like, man, isn't that such a weird way? I don't know. That's just a weird way for universe to line me up with my purpose, as it were. You know? So weird, man. Strange, but what keeps me going is the testimonials I receive every day. That's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me going, because I'm just a human just like you. I'll get those thoughts in my head like, man, what am I even doing? What am I even doing? You know what I mean? Like, am I even doing anything worthwhile? And it seems like every time I have one of those thoughts, bam, another testimonial hits my inbox in Facebook or Instagram or in my email or something like that, you know? And I mean huge testimonials. I don't just mean, oh, you helped me. And I get those too. I do get, oh, you helped me through a really hard time and this and that. But I get huge testimonials. I completely transformed my life, you know? I went from making minimum wage to making $250,000 a year listening to you. I was homeless when I started listening to you, and a year later I own my own home. I'm a homeowner now. You know, big, huge testimonials. That's what keeps me going. Every time I start to fall into that doubt voice that we all have, we all get taken over by that doubt, then I'll get like a big testimonial, you know. Man, I just randomly manifested a surprise extra $11,000 that I have no idea where it came from. I got a check for $11,000 in the mail. Big ones, big testimonials, you know. Like they hit all the time. I hear them all the time. So I'm like, yeah, okay, universe, I got you. If it was my choice though, if it was my plan, I wouldn't be doing this. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't want it to sound like I'm ungrateful, because I actually do. I am very, very grateful and very blessed. You know, I feel like the most blessed man on the planet. But if it was up to me, if you gave me, all right, you can have whatever you want, however you want. You do it your way. It most certainly would not be. I would not be a YouTube tarot card reader. I wouldn't. You know what I mean? It wouldn't have happened that way. I told you all this last chat, so I'm not going to go into that whole story. But yeah, it was not my plan. It wasn't the plan. I just couldn't ignore that little voice in my head. Well, it wasn't even in my head. It was like in my soul. Man, put a couple readings on YouTube. See what happens, you know? I couldn't ignore it. Nah, I ain't doing that. But do it. Just try it. See what'll happen. You never know unless you try. You know, and usually I'm pretty good at talking myself out of shit like that. And I couldn't talk myself out of that. I talked myself out of that for about a month or two. Somewhere in there. No, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing that. And then it just kept getting louder and louder and louder and louder. And I'm glad I didn't continue. Actually, though, looking back and thinking about it, I don't really think I probably wouldn't have been able to talk myself out of it, because that voice just kept getting so damn loud, I couldn't ignore it, you know? Couldn't ignore it. So, yeah, you do get pulled. You get pulled where you got to be, Yep. See, like I tell people, hang on just a second. Hang on. Maybe give me some water. Like I tell people, the way I look at this life, people always ask me, am I on the right path? You know? And I'll always tell people the same thing. There is no right path, wrong path, but there is a general direction in which you need to be headed. There is a general direction, okay? So the analogy that I give is, imagine you're in New York City and you want to make it to LA. There is no right road, wrong road, but there is a general direction, you know? And you can take the scenic route, You know, you can take this road, that road, you can dip down towards Florida, then go up through Kentucky and Indiana, and then dip over through Chicago, and then go back down towards Texas, and then dip back up through New Mexico. And, you know, there's no right road, wrong road, but there is a general direction. Now, if we get headed too far off in the wrong direction, like me, I was headed straight for Oklahoma, and I was just barreling straight towards it. You know what I mean? So what the other side does, I know a lot of you have heard me say this. If you come to me for a reading, you know what the other side will do, because there's signs. No, LA this way, go this way. That's the signs, the synchronicities, little coincidences that happen in your life, trying to get you to take it. And what do we do as humans? We ignore it. But what's one thing that we don't ignore? What's one thing that we humans do not fucking ignore? Romance. A lover. The other side will, and it's happened to me. I think I'd feel safe betting it's happened to most of us. All right, well, he's ignoring it all. He's ignoring all the signs, the synchronicities, he or she or whoever, all the coincidences, the synchronistic numbers, synchronistic events. All right, we're going to have to bust out the big guns. The universe will send a lover. You want to get a human's attention. Any human, walk on two legs, big old ego, think we know every fucking thing. Human. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your sign is. I don't care if you're Aries, Taurus, Scorpio, or Leo. I don't care if you're black, white, Mexican, Asian. Don't care what your religious beliefs are. I don't care what your background is. Don't care what type. I don't give a damn. I don't care if you're gay, straight. None of that matters. You want to get a human's attention? Send a lover. Or a potential lover. Or a love interest. And what happens is their energy sticks to you like glue, and they bounce out. Now this person's energy is all over you, sticks to you like glue, and you don't realize it. But it's, for lack of a better explanation, it's got you hogtied, and it's dragging you down the path, and you don't even realize it. And I even had somebody come to me for a reading one time, and she explained, she gave the answer in the entire description of the reading, And I don't remember, this was fucking months ago, but it's something to the effect of, I was, ever since this connection and this person left my life, I have walked a completely different path. I've been evolving. I've been eating better. It's motivated me to become more spiritual and become more in touch with my intuition. And like, she's going on and on and on about all these radical, drastic, dramatic, huge changes she's made since this person came into and stepped out of her life. And then she asked me, what was the meaning of this connection? I'm like, are you serious, dude? You just answered that question. I don't even need to put one card on the table for you, I get it though. I get it. I did pull cards. I did. And I do have a couple of cards. That's what I call a bump contract. A bump contract. You're headed off in the wrong direction, and then a soulmate, one of your friends from the other side, comes along and bumps you back on track. Like I've told you all before, something very similar to that is what led me to doing this for a living. Actually, for me, it was a string of people. It was pretty sure like 2 or 3 people very specifically that had to bump me in the direction to lead me here, And then looking back, you don't realize it when it's happening. You're like, what the fuck? Oh my God. And then looking back, you're like, okay, touche, universe, I got you, Makes perfect sense. Somebody climbed up in my head and just lived there in my head rent free for like 2 years, and it drove me fucking nuts. And then I just randomly, I started seeing the YouTube tarot card readings pop up months before this. And I'm like, what YouTube, what tarot read? Oh, that's the dumbest looking shit. I ain't watching that. That's retarded. There's the things that I was saying to myself, like, wow, how fucking boring are people? Whatever. So I scroll past them for months. Then finally, one day I was like, well, I did get that really scary, freaky, accurate tarot card reading from Tina that one time. But there's no way you could read generally just for the sign of Aquarius and telling me what's going on in my life. Whatever. But these videos get a lot of fucking views. Lots and lots of people are watching this. This has got like 50,000 views on this video. Why would 50,000 people watch that if there was nothing to it? So I clicked on one day and it told the story. And I was like, no. Are you fucking kidding me? You know? My jaw was on the floor and I got addicted to it at that point. Told the story of this person that, you know, this connection that I had that wasn't even never really romantic. I don't know. It was just, I just experienced a very sudden, abrupt, and unexpected. Unexpected. I didn't expect it. And I didn't like it either. I didn't like it. This person, like, the craziest, most, at the time, was the most intense, shocking connection I'd ever experienced with a person. And it scared me, made me really uncomfortable. I didn't like it. And this person just lived in my head. You know what I mean? And it told the story. So there I was, addicted to the YouTube readings, you know? And then, like I told you all the story, how, like, man, it's not telling me the part that I want to hear, you know? So I bought the fucking cards, spent another, I don't remember how many weeks and months figuring out how to play with them just to try to read that situation. And it was giving me the same same story the YouTube readings were giving me. And then when I decided, I started getting the calling. Okay, so now I got you. Universe, at that time, looking back, it's like, all right, now I got you where I want you. I got you where I want you. Okay, you see the YouTube readings. Okay, I got you to learn the cards. It's just like, looking back, it's just like, I see how and why I was put in that position, you know. I got you where I want you. Now I just got to get you to keep going forward on this path, you know. And then I did fast forward a couple of months after it slingshots me off onto this path that I never would have found on my own. I looked back at that connection and went, whoa, that's why that connection happened. This is why. And then by default, when I made that realization, that person's energy left me. Poof, they left me. I no longer felt that person's energy. They no longer lived in my head. When I had that Ace of Swords moment and the light bulb came on and I realized why that happened. Their energy left me, you know. It's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting, you know. Like I said, I call that a bump contract. A bump contract. And yeah, and I see it happen to people very frequently. Very, very frequently. It's just somebody that you're headed way off in the wrong direction. So the universe will send a really intense connection, either a lover, love interest, just a really intense connection, whatever, and it drags you off onto a different path, you know? So, anyway. Anywho. Do. Bump contract. Yeah, I wish I remembered where I heard that, because I didn't make that up. I heard that. Man, when did I hear that? I was listening, because used to, like, I would just get addicted to research, you know, and I would just binge watch people who, you know, were explaining spiritual shit, you know what I mean, and the nature of reality and the other side, and, you know, all the spirit. I'll just binge watch spiritual shit, and I don't remember who this was. It was just some random people giving a seminar, I think. And talked about that and called it bump contract. And I'm like, that stuck with me. I don't even remember where I heard that. I don't remember who it was. So, anyway, though. Yep. Waking up in less stress. That's good. That's good. See, yeah. To me, I don't know. I feel like it seems to me like you're more stressed out when you're asleep. Seems to me like a lot of times you're more stressed, but a new stress kind of does overtake you sometimes when you wake up, you know. I was more stressed out when I was asleep, but now waiting for everybody else to catch up is very stressful, you know. That's the stressful part. And that's all we're waiting on right now, y'all. It's all we're waiting on. But The good news is humanity is awakening. That's the good news. Like I said, and I try to tell people this and remind people of this so much. I know it's so easy to focus on the sleepers. It's so easy to just put all of our focus and our attention on the people who are asleep and how annoying that is and how irritating that is. Shift your focus away from that. Do you have any idea how many people are waking up? The awakening is happening. Don't just focus on the negative end. We're the majority now. You know that, right? Yep, we are the majority. It tipped over the 50% mark, and we're in the 60% something in there. We are the majority now. We are. Now, I know 40% of people are still asleep, and that is still a huge number of people. But don't focus on that. Focus your attention on the people who are waking up. We are in the majority. We are in the majority. And when I say awakening, when I say awakening, I'm not just talking about you awaken to everything in this world being a lie. I'm not just talking about that. I'm not just talking about that. I'm talking about when you awaken to the true nature of who you really are. That's what I'm talking about. All those other things just come along with that. That's why I teach what I teach in the way that I teach it. I plant little seeds in you that teach you how to take control of your own frequency. And you don't have to, you can say, no, that's stupid. I don't want to do that. That's fine. That's your right. But I know some of you, you take that and you're like, well, let me try that. Let me try taking control of my own frequency and seeing what I can do in my life. Because most people, like I said, up until this day and age, most of us have had our frequency programmed for us. Had it programmed for us. And we were manifesting a reality for somebody else. But then whenever jam a stick in that wheel, and you start saying, you know what, I think I'm going to take control of my own energy and seeing how I can start affecting the outcomes and the experiences that I have. And then once you start doing that, you start seeing, whoa, it's producing big changes in my life. And then that ball starts rolling. It's hard to get that ball rolling, but once you get that ball rolling, then you begin, that's what starts the process of awakening to the true nature of who you really are. And you're like, whoa. And then it's just like a snowball, dude. It keeps getting bigger and bigger and gaining momentum and getting bigger. And then somewhere along that process, that's when you realize, all the other stuff, realizing that we live in a matrix, realizing that everything in our lives has been a complete and total play. It's been a lie and all that comes later. That's just like a little side effect, It's like a little side effect. So that's what I mean when I say awaken. Yep, we are powerful. It would blow your all's minds if you really knew exactly how powerful you were. I explain it to some people in personal readings. It'd blow your mind if you knew just how. I know a lot of us know that we're powerful, but we don't know how powerful we are. There's a very specific reason why they are so desperate to keep us from waking up, because we are insanely powerful. That's the reason why they manipulate us, because they don't have access to the divine. They can't manifest. They don't have access to the light in the divine light like we do. So that's why they have us manifest it for them. They have us manifest. They tell us things. They put images in our heads decades ago. And it looks like, a prophecy. These prophecies are coming true. No, they planted it in our heads so that we would manifest it for them. People say, oh my God, the prophecies are coming true. No, they're not. We're manifesting it because that was their plan. Their plan was to program us to manifest it for them, because they can't. They can't manifest for themselves. They have to have us do it for them. I'm being dead serious. Y'all think I'm fucking with you. I'm not. I'm being dead serious. This is not my opinion. Trust me. Anyway, on that note, though, I'll leave you with that. It is about time for me to get out of here. Right at about an hour now. Y'all know I keep my chats here at an hour. So anyway, it's about breakfast time. I'm going to go see if the kiddos are up. If they're up, I'll probably pour the kiddos a bowl of cereal or something and get ready to smash this day out. None of my work is printed out yet, so anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this little chat. I hope you got something out of it. I hope at least one of you heard something that you can use to completely change your life. But either way, I'll see y'all tomorrow morning, all right? Enjoy the rest of your day.